Ambassador Sarah Chen sat perfectly still in her designated seat within the Galactic Council's Grand Chamber, her hands folded neatly in her lap as she listened to the Zephyrian delegate's latest accusation. Around the circular hall, representatives from 47 different species observed from their specialized atmospheric pods and gravity wells. Their various forms of attention focused on the human section. The humans, Councillor Vextai continued, his crystalline form pulsing with agitated amber light, have consistently demonstrated their unsuitability for advanced galactic society. They are primitive, violent, and lack the sophisticated emotional control necessary for civilized discourse. Sarah's expression remained neutral, though her assistant noticed the slight tightening around her eyes. For 3 standard years, she had endured these sessions with remarkable patience. The Council had initially been impressed by humanity's diplomatic restraint, their ability to absorb insults, deflect accusations, and respond with measured, thoughtful rebuttals. Their military expansion, added Councillor Threx of the Mantis Collective, mandibles clicking rhythmically, demonstrates clear aggressive intent. No peaceful species requires such extensive defensive capabilities. The other delegates murmured agreement in their various languages and electromagnetic frequencies. Sarah had heard variations of this argument countless times. Humanity was too young, too unpredictable, too dangerous. Their application for full council membership had been under consideration for decades. But today was different. Today, Sarah carried news that would change everything. Furthermore, Vextai's voice resonated through the chamber's translation matrix. Their emotional volatility makes them unsuitable for the responsibility of Councillor Vextai, Sarah interrupted softly, rising from her seat with fluid grace. The chamber fell silent. In 3 years, she had never interrupted a speaker. Yes, Ambassador Chen? The formal acknowledgement carried a hint of surprise. Sarah activated her personal communication device, its holographic display visible to the entire assembly. I've just received word from Earth. 1 hour ago, our deep space monitoring stations detected a void swarm emergence in the Kepler 442 system. The reaction was immediate and visceral. The crystalline Zephyrian's light shifted to pale blue, fear. The Mantis Collective's clicking became rapid and discordant. Even the gaseous ethereals condensed into tighter formations within their containment fields. That's impossible, Threx whispered. The void swarms were sealed away millennia ago. The barriers are failing, Sarah confirmed, her voice carrying none of its usual diplomatic softness. Something had changed in her posture, her tone. The careful politeness that had defined her tenure was evaporating in real time. The emergent signature indicates a Class 7 breach. Estimated swarm size 40,000 units. Councillor Vextai's form flickered between amber and blue. The Kepler system. There are 3 billion harmony singers on the 4th planet. Yes, there are. Sarah's response was flat, matter of fact, and according to our projections, the swarm will reach their world in 6 standard days. We must evacuate, began the delegate from the Aquatic Federation. With what? Sarah's interruption carried a new edge. The Council's combined fleet consists of exploration vessels and light patrol craft. The last time anyone in this chamber built a warship, my species was discovering fire. The uncomfortable silence stretched as the truth settled over the assembly. The Galactic Council had enjoyed 40,000 years of peace. Their military capabilities had atrophied, becoming ceremonial remnants of a more violent past. However, Sarah continued, and now there was something different in her smile, something that made several delegates unconsciously recoil. Humanity might be able to help. Your primitive military? Vextai's skepticism was apparent even through the crystalline harmonics. Sarah's smile widened. Counselor, for the past 3 years, you've criticized humanity's military development. You've called our fleets excessive, our weapons barbaric, our tactical doctrines unnecessarily aggressive. She paused, letting her words sink in. You are absolutely correct. The chamber's atmosphere shifted palpably. The humans in Sarah's delegation were no longer sitting with diplomatic restraint. They had straightened, their postures more alert, more predatory. 12 hours ago, the Terran Defense Force received authorization to deploy the 3rd Fleet. Sarah's voice had completely shed its diplomatic warmth. 48 heavy dreadnoughts, 200 battle cruisers, 800 destroyers, and 15,000 fighter craft. all armed with weapons that your species banned as unnecessarily destructive to ship hulls. That's more firepower than the entire council possesses, Threx breathed. That's one fleet, Counselor. We have 7. Sarah turned to address the full assembly. For 3 years I've sat in this chamber and listened to you explain why humanity isn't ready for galactic civilization. You've criticized our aggression, our preparedness for violence, our inability to simply evolve beyond conflict. She gestured to her communication device, where tactical displays showed the massive human fleet already in motion. Today I'm going to explain why that's exactly what makes us qualified. The Void Swarms don't negotiate. They don't respond to diplomatic overtures or cultural exchanges. They consume. They destroy. And right now they're heading toward 3 billion innocent lives. Sarah's voice carried absolute certainty. When nightmares emerge from the dark between stars, you don't want philosophers or poets. You want soldiers. Counselor Vexitai's light had stabilized into a deep blue of fear and something else. You're saying humanity will fight the swarm? Oh, Counselor. Sarah's smile was sharp as glass. We're not going to fight the swarm. She turned to address the full chamber, and every delegate felt the weight of humanity's true nature settling over them like a cold shadow. We're going to remind the universe why even nightmares should be afraid of the dark. For the first time in council history, the chamber fell into absolute silence as every being present realized they had fundamentally misunderstood what humanity represented. They hadn't been observing a primitive species learning civilization. They had been watching apex predators learn patience. The vote for humanity's full council membership was unanimous.